Welcome back out into the arena as we continue the last 32. Jordan Shepherd takes on John Rowe. Mark Shepherd and Nick Finn are with you for this one. We're probably expecting a fairly quick match here, Nick, as you always expect with Jordan at the table.
Yeah, for sure. And it's been a mixed bag from him this season. He's had some early exits and some deep runs as well. It's hard to know what to expect from him in these early rounds. Obviously just back from a trip to China as well. So, be interesting to see how he adjusts. John Rowe, we know, always turns up and gives a pretty consistent, solid performance. Interesting early matchup. First match for Jordan, I think. No, he did play in the 64, didn't he? Just trying to recall who he played.
Yeah, it's tough when you're doing a lot of travelling. Not so much the actual travel, but the switching between cue sports is tough. The idea is the same, but the bigger cue ball means that your timing goes a bit out the window sometimes.
Oli Bell in the 64. He beat Oli Bell 7-6. So a real tight one. He's been in a close one already.
Didn't see that match, but you can imagine they got on with it. Those two guys that like to go after a ball.
Yeah, it wouldn't have lasted long. Quite a bit of action going on at the moment in the pro room. Christophe Lambert 5-4 up over Cormac Kerr. And these obviously all matches in the last 32, so all playing to get into that round of 16. Eddie Barker 4-2 up over Brian Harcrow. Craig Waddingham 3-2 over Ronan McCarthy. Josh Jahaz 6-5 over Event 8 winner Sean Chipperfield. Sean Story 4-2 up against Sean Sharkey. Callum Singleton 5-0 over Aaron Davis. Greg Batten, having beaten Cole Bedford earlier, now 3-1 up over Phil Harrison. So that gets us up to date with all the scores, and it looks like the Welsh Wizard is going to take this first frame. A slimmer version of Jordan Shepherd. Certainly a slimmer version than the one I know. Is it an imposter?
Yeah, it seems like all the players have been a new health regime. Tom Cousins looking in great shape in his last match.
I think they're all in competition, aren't they? It's incredible.
Well, I think sometimes it does provide motivation, doesn't it? You see other people going after an aim in life.
Yeah. I mean, Dayan Grech flying the flag lost, I don't know what he lost, over 10 stone, that's for sure. I don't know what it was, probably way more than 10, but I've just seen one of the stalwarts of Ultimate Pool, one of the organisers, one of the tournament directors, Lee Grout. He's also lost a huge amount of weight. These people looking good on it.
Another great chance in this frame. Such an entertaining player to watch. Seems to see the finish so quickly. Very quick technique as well when he gets down and strikes the ball.
Yeah, just taking a little time over that shot. Looks like it's, yeah, he's landed perfect there. He can just wander the cue ball through the gap. He's just come back. He's got a choice here for left centre or bottom left. Probably take left centre might have just too much angle to hold for the one to bottom left. That would be the, yeah, that's the choice.
Very good. 2 opportunities, 2 quick clearances. So it's the last major pro event though. Didn't get a great split there, hit them fairly hard. Quite the result he wanted. So straight back to the table for the man that's won the first 2 frames.
Both reds and yellows in the open here. Choice of either. Electing to go reds. That has worked out pretty much perfectly. If it's something that he's trying to deliberately do, but he's definitely taking an extra second or 2 just to compose himself over the shots. But he's got the cue ball on a string at the moment.
Must be something he's toyed with a few times over the years. When you play as quickly as this, you must get plenty of advice along the lines of take your time a bit more. What you don't want to do though is disrupt your natural rhythm. Clearly a very natural player. All one-way traffic right now. Can't really pass too much judgment on how John Rowe's playing, because I haven't seen much of it.
Oh, was that just? I think it's just okay. Looked like it may have just leaked in behind that yellow for a split second. I think he feared the same, judging by his body language. But and this looks like it's another one coming from Jordan. Finds a ball. Looks a red.
Yeah, the sound of the play today has been really good. Obviously it's a little bit flattering in that on the first day, when there's a lot of matches to choose from, we're able to pick the better looking draws to show on this main arena table, but still all the players that have been out there have really shown up, even the ones that have lost. I mean, in that last match, Mark Fleming came off on the wrong side of the scoreboard against Tom Cousins, but really played his part in the match. Had some good clearances in there.
Sheppy's away again here. He actually made one of each. It was a yellow and a red. Chose to go reds. Another very open table. Again, just getting too close to his work. I think, again, he's just okay. He's got away with this one, but that could have gone wrong. Again, you saw that body language from him. He was just worried for a split second. And things aren't going your way. Those are the ones that stick behind, aren't they? But they both just came out. And what a start. The clock ticks down. 9 minutes gone. What a crunch. But he's dry.
Yeah, he's just not having any luck, is he?
I mean, he's timed it. Look at the split. Balls flying everywhere. A little bit to do. Just that red and yellow that have come together on the top cushion. The red goes, the yellow doesn't, but Jordan doesn't have an opener on red, so he's forced into going yellows. He has to do something about that ball at the top of the table. Nice little cannon to start things off. Make those 2 yellows slightly easier. Now he just needs to think about the angle that he wants to break that yellow out. Could actually play the yellow that's below the one closest to the cushion off of that yellow to open it up. I'm trying to see an easier way to break it out. I think yellow off yellow might be the shot. I think it's on. It may just be too far away from the pocket. I think it's just on. I mean, I'm assuming that yellow doesn't pass the red. But the way he's played that shot would suggest maybe it does. Oh, it flew in.
Yes, deceptive, isn't it? We've got the benefit, well, I'd say the benefit of an overhead view. From the overhead camera we've got in the commentary box, it didn't look like there was anywhere in the world that went in.
No, absolutely not. It was the overhead that fooled me, actually. It convinced me that it didn't go.
Oh, this is crazy, isn't it? Not even played 12 minutes in this match, and Jordan Shepherd's going to be 5-0 up.
The wizard is weaving his magic. He's got that wand to good use. He's like a conductor with a baton.
Well, right now, it feels like it's more of a question of how quickly is he going to complete this match than is he going to win. But with the same disclaimer, John Rowe just really hasn't had much of a chance yet.
Now he gets one.
Well, finally the run comes to an end. You can barely believe it.
Now you know how John feels.
Well, that's the thing. There are times when you ask somebody how a match went and they say they never had a chance, and what they mean is they didn't have great chances or they didn't take them. But I mean, John really hasn't had anything to go at so far, has he? And even this chance, the first time he gets it, isn't ideal. A lot of traffic at the bottom of the table.
Yeah, John had that easy opener, the red over the pocket, but deciding that he doesn't want to take it on because the table is a mess. The red's particularly horrible. And Jordan can take a little bit of a liberty there. He's left John the option of 3 reds, but if John didn't want to go reds before, why would he now? Unless he can see that he's got an angle to try and break out at least one of these.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? Because he's got so many different clusters. He's going to need quite a few goes, you'd feel, to get them all out. Not in a bad place to play a containing shot here. It's hard to imagine wanting to continue with the attack. If the yellow and red were a straight plant, he could play off the first red into them, but
I wonder if he's going to try and open them both out. Does he go across and try and nudge? Yeah, I wondered if he was going to glance off the red, come across the cushion and push the red that's next to the yellow towards the pocket. Just break out both at the same time.
yeah, I'd have liked that. I suppose the only downside with that shot is he'd have left probably a fairly easy loss of turn, but it did feel like it was a good chance to get his balls developed. Because if he just plays this tippy-tappy game, there's no guarantee that he's going to come with a good enough chance before Jordan opens his balls up.
In this rule set, when you're playing safety shots, you're always looking at a way to play an attacking safety, just to try and break out, just to give yourself a bit of an advantage later in the frame, just develop something. Loss of turn here, perhaps. Very good.
Yeah, and that's the difference, isn't it? Because that was a much more positive shot. I mean, to be fair to John, it wasn't as easy a shot to play it and not leave the reverse straight back on when he had the chance, but that's a good one from Jordan. Suddenly with that one shot, things just aren't looking so attractive. Ideally he wants this red sort of near the pocket but not hanging right over it. Well, maybe a shade closer.
Yeah.
You never really want it right on the edge because it makes such an easy loss of turn back. I think that's what he was mindful of, but he's played a slightly nothingy shot.
I think you saw Jordan just shake his head there. I think he was just thinking about breaking out everything on the right hand side, because John's still got that red on the bottom cushion, and again he's shaking his head. I think he wants to play it. He wants to open up everything here. He could open up all three of these yellows on the right. In doing so, he's going to open up the reds as well, but John would, as I say, still have that one red at the bottom of the table. That's clever, just tying up another one of the reds. Now 3 of those yellows are in the open. And John playing the shot that he should have played earlier and putting some covering fire across the pocket. While it's, I mean, definitely John needed to slow down Jordan and just take away some of his momentum. There's loads of time on the clock, but at the same time, this is clearly an absolute must-win frame for John Rowe. 5-0's bad enough, but if Jordan goes on the hill at 6-0, then there is absolutely no way back into this. But you feel at 5-1, there's still just a sniff.
Especially because the first part of the match was so quick. There's still well over half an hour left on the match clock. Jordan is also the kind of player that will give you a chance.
Clever. Not quite come out, I don't think. He was trying to clear that pocket at the bottom of the table from 2 cushions. Shows the confidence he's got at the moment. The red and yellow just came back together, but very clever.
You'd have to say, when we were talking about him going 5-0 up in 12 minutes, you wouldn't really see a slow tactical frame coming up. And it's got pretty scrappy, this frame.
I was going to say he's going to look at playing the... That works. Play the ball down the cushion. I don't think he was going for the pot there. I mean, it was always a chance that he could get it, but it was about opening that pocket up and promoting the yellow that was on the cushion. No, that's not come out. I think it just needed a bit more pace. Easy to say in hindsight, but he was just trusting to luck, and I think he had more chance of getting more chance of getting a bit of favourable fortune if he'd hit that just a touch harder. Oh, Goodness me. Keeps coming out with them, but it's not getting any easier. He's going to have to find another one. Again, it's a one cushion escape. You think he's going to go close to the pocket, but a little bit surprised he went that way. I thought easy to pop from the right-hand side cushion. Left a line through to the ball at the top of the table. And it will cut. It's a thin cut, length of the table. But he's left it as a tempter. Don't think Jordan's going to take the bait. Don't think he's going for the pot here. What do I know? No. That should be frame to John Rowe. John dug in there. I guess he had to play that. There wasn't anything else. There was no safety options.
And this is what John's been waiting for. He's had to sit in his chair for most of this match. Very real prospect for a moment that this frame could have taken longer than the previous 5 put together. That shouldn't now be the case. John just considered for a moment playing the ball near the break line and breaking out this one that he's landed on, but talked himself out of it.
Yeah. I prefer this way. Didn't need to move that red. And the one he took first was not a gimme to land on, so well, you've got ball in hand. Get on it.
Well, this has been good. Obviously an easier position when you start with ball in hand, but having been frozen away from the table for 5 frames, did well to hold himself together. And as you say, 5-1.
Parked the cue ball in the middle of the table. Fabulous break.
Yeah, it looks great, doesn't it, when you play a shot like that? It's not that common a break anymore for players to try to park the cue ball, but just looks so perfect when the cue ball stops dead and everything carries on moving.
Ooh. Misjudgment there. Trying to play red off red. Actually missed it by quite a margin. Two reds towards the top of the table. They're not a dead set plant, but easily made. Just enough space between them. Should be fairly comfortable. Just needs to get the cue ball through. He's not guaranteed to land on the red. It was coming away, so he wanted to get the cue ball through for the ball to left centre. I think he might have just got there.
John will be disappointed having got the frame on the board and then a good break in that beginning of this frame. Just sit back down, watch your opponent clear up is frustrating. And again, it's starting to happen so quickly.
Yeah.
Very hard to see a way back from 6-1 down against a man in this form.
And he's speeding up now. Really finding his flow.
There was a moment last season when he was regularly being talked about as a likely tournament winner. Slightly leaner pickings this campaign. Still some good results. Still high on the rankings, so no one would be surprised to see him lift a trophy to end the season.
Yeah. Looks like this one is going to be done in about 45 seconds. Really nice break. Everything opened up. And really had a choice of either colour set. Could have gone reds or yellows. Just finished the wrong side of this yellow. If he's straighter, he can just top it straight through for the other yellow in the middle. Now he has to use the side cushion, and the red is just there in play. So there's a bit of care over this one. You know, so he made sure he spanned the cue ball up table just to get that red right out of the action. Didn't want to stick behind it. Clever. Again, just a touch out of position. Oh, a good few inches out of position, actually. It's made this tricky because he's got a lot of angle now. He'd be okay if that yellow went to top right, but it clearly doesn't. The one in the middle of the table. So he still has to. It's cost him. Didn't expect that. Just that one positional shot. And, you know, even if he gets that yellow, what does he have next?
Bit frustrating this for John. He's coming to the table. You really just want a nice chance. 6-1 down in a match. You don't really want to be tapping the balls around. He's got to wait for a better chance though. And the Reds are in a good place. If Jordan can't come up with a safety shot or a pot here, he's not very likely to leave it tight. So now this is a better chance for John. All the balls in open play. The pressure's kind of off as well. This match in his head is going to be kind of gone. Stranger things have happened. Just got to take the frames that are in front of you.
Yeah, in my mind that was Jordan Shepherd getting across the line there. I could not see him falling over, and I think John would have felt the same way. So he'll be over the moon to be at the table. And as we always say, the comeback has to start somewhere. So why not here?
Well, that would have been, would have been some mess, wouldn't it?
We've seen those stay up.
Well, no mistake with the 8 ball. Nervous moment there. Does get his second frame on the board. At least if you've played your part in the match, you're in a slightly more level mindset. Well, good news, bad news. Potted some balls. Just got that one problem at the top of the table. It's going to have to be reds really because of the position of the ball bottom left. Although has he got a starter? That may be the problem.
Just thinking the same thing. I mean, he's got an opener, but is it the plant? No, I don't even think the plant goes. I'm not sure he's got anything, which really does sum up this match in some ways. As good as Jordan's been, John, every time he comes to the table, he's got this ugly mess.
Yeah,
that's about the third time he's had to do that.
It's been such a difficult evening, hasn't it? I mean, take nothing away. Most of it's been the quality of Jordan, but Jordan just hasn't had any luck along the way.
I wondered if we might just see him push the boat out there and just take the red in the middle of the table and play the plant like cushion first into the red at the bottom of the table. Makes you feel he has to start taking risks. Oh, great plant.
Well, not far away. Hoping, I guess, to either clear the pocket or ram that yellow past.
Well, the 8-ball now goes. And if Sheppy can pot this long, he's in. He just played the loss of turn, didn't even consider potting it long. Good vision to see that. Just come a little fraction too far, so he has left this red, but very good vision.
So you have to play the tactical shot again. Just wants to try and get the white in behind the red. I think ideally push the yellow far enough away as well that you open the red up. Three reds are open now, but no guarantee that John's going to be left on them. Obviously, Jordan's going to avoid giving away ball in hand. That would be fatal, but anything short of that, decent chance of getting some kind of semi-safe position. Well, that's not really it, because John has got a pot to the left centre, and he has got some angle. It's not going to be easy to get perfect shape on the top of the ball at the top of the table, but
yeah, the yellow's in the way of the path. So he's going to have to force this, probably come side cushion and up.
Played a good positional shot, but at the cost of the pot. Now, one good shot, and these are all here for Jordan. It's a slightly awkward opener, though. Not really for a player of his quality, I guess.
Used every bit of the pocket.
There's nothing really to the pot, but just had to do a little bit with the cue ball to get good position. Asking the referee to clean the cue ball. He's obviously spotted a chalk mark. Clock doesn't stop if you ask for the cue ball to be cleaned, which is why the referee is attending to things very promptly.
Yeah, and if you're going to get a kick, it's off these kind of shots as well, when you're just going to play it just over pocket weight and just run the cue ball through. Job done for Jordan Shepherd. Very good performance.
Yeah, it really was. It was a masterclass performance for the first 5 frames, 12 minutes. Very quick, then that slow tactical frame. Then ultimately normal service resumed at the end. A couple of decent frames there for John Rowe, but too little too late, and really just didn't get much of a chance. A few dry breaks and other awkward moments. So that's the end of the road for John Rowe. Jordan Shepherd books his place in the last 16 tomorrow morning. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Jordan will join us in the studio for a quick word.